Okay, so you want to work in news, but you're not exactly sure what to expect. Well, you're in luck because in today's episode of Behind the Glam, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I'd wished I'd known before getting into the industry, as well as some of the things that I'd wished I'd done differently in my first few years. And I have tapped some of my friends who are in the industry to kind of weigh in on this topic because perspective is extremely important. Hopefully, you can use some of that and get a better idea of what it is you're stepping into. So get ready. This is Behind the Glam. All right, so before we get into things, if you're new here, I will ask you to like this video and click subscribe. And if you're not new here, welcome back. So, some of the things that I wish I'd known before I got into the industry. Wow, there's quite a list. I'm going to keep it short. You are going to make a lot of sacrifices if you want a career in this industry, whether it is the scheduling, whether it is having to move somewhere that you don't necessarily know anyone, or definitely the piece about finances. Woo! Okay, when I was doing the math in my head about, okay, if I make this much, I can do this and I can do that and the math wasn't mathing, to be frank. It wasn't.
Give me the money. Wait a minute. What's this? This ain't enough. Make it enough.
Let me tell y'all something. You are not gonna make money in your first job. I'm gonna tell you that. If you make money in your first job, please comment below and let me know I am very wrong. I want you to let me know because I don't know a single person in news that was happy with the salary they were making in their first job. That's just that. So yeah, just understanding that, understanding what your resources are, whether that's you maybe potentially having to pick up a second job, whether that's you being able to lean on your family and your friends and your significant other or whoever.
I can't eat. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that, Kev. Nobody else. You.
That might be a reality for you. So yes, I wished I'd had a little bit more context and understanding of what that was going to look like in the literal scheme of here's what monthly bills look like and here's what you got to work with after tax. And finally, what I kind of wished I'd known prior to is that this is not a 9-to-5 career. It's not. If you think you're going to wake up in the morning and get ready for work and be there at 9 o'clock and that you're going to go home at exactly 5 o'clock every day, let me tell you, that's not going to happen. You might be 2 hours away at some breaking news. You might get a call after your shift ends saying, hey, there's breaking news and we need you to stay. And you're gonna have to. So those are my tidbits. And now we're gonna get into a couple of my friends in the industry. And we are going to start with Tanisha Cordell. She is a reporter in Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, so I'm gonna kick this off by saying, find joy in the struggle, okay? Find joy in the struggle. I feel like oftentimes when we get our foot in the door and start our careers, okay, which is not easy, okay, let's just be honest. But once we get to that point, I feel like we oftentimes hit cruise control, right? We're so focused on getting out, getting to that next level, the next market, higher up, whatever it is, that we lose focus on the process, where we are and where God, has landed us. For me, I landed in a small city starting out. I was broke. I was far away from my friends, my family, and it was hard. I was miserable. And looking back, again, I wish I would have found more joy in the sacrifice, in the compromise that I was faced with. I think I really missed out on learning about a great city, their traditions, their their culture, the people that lived there. I stayed, you know, to myself. And I feel like when you do yourself a disservice when you do that, looking back again, you know, I missed out on connecting with so many different people. And because what happens is those people who you're transparent with, you're relatable to, and really, you know, care about are going to follow you. They're going to support you even after your time is up. So just really trust the process, you know, don't harp on the bad and cherish it, because looking back and when you move forward and get to where you want to go, you're going to appreciate it. The last thing I suggest is to always, always, always stand firm in who you are, okay? Who you are, your personality, and your values is what's going to help stand out within the crowd, okay? Within the crowd of journalists trying to get in and get their foot in the door as well, okay? That's what's going to be your niche. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you special, okay? But it's also going to help ground you in a business that is that oftentimes forces you out of your comfort zone, okay? Dealing and working with so many different people with different perspectives, different values, different political views, you know, everything. And it can be hard, okay? You're gonna be tested in those newsrooms. You're not gonna be, you know, feeling all giddy and happy every time you walk in there. But knowing who you are and really always just being respectful is really gonna keep you motivated, keep you going, and keep you sane. So last thing is just to always speak up and advocate for yourself, because if you don't, who will?
Whew, girl. Yes. Yes to all of that. Okay, so next we're going to be hearing from Simone Davis. She is a lifestyle host and entertainment reporter at Wavy TV in Norfolk, Virginia.
Hey guys, my name is Simone Davis. I'm a lifestyle host and feature reporter for Wavy TV 10 in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm going to start with the journalism students. My advice for you all is to try everything, especially once you land an internship. Get to know everyone in every single department. When I was in school, I got to know the producers who worked behind the scenes, the meteorologist, the sports team, everyone in the building. I got to know them, and I got to really from there decide what I liked about the industry, what I didn't like about the industry, what jobs I would be interested in trying once I got out into the field, and the ones that were just a complete no for me. So I would suggest for you all to do the same. If you have time to do multiple internships, get internships that focus on different things, not just on-air talent if you want to be on air, or producing, working behind the scenes. And if you do land an internship in the same thing, well then venture out and try different things in different departments. So that's my advice to you, because you don't want to go throughout school only learning about one particular aspect of the business, and then once you start working, you realize you don't like it. And now you're in the business, you can't intern because you're not a student anymore and you're trying to figure it out. So I say, while you have time, learn about every aspect of this business as much as you can. For all of those who are new to the business, all of the new journalists, my advice to you, I'll say for on-air talent, save as you go, save your content. I honestly would get into the habit of creating a new reel or updated reel. Let me say that, updated reel every 6 months. So that means when you have a live shot that you think you want to use, I suggest you save it immediately. What you don't want to do is wait until your contract is up and you're trying to think back to like a year and a half ago when you did this bomb live shot. Let's say it was at a car crash or it was a fire, whatever it may be, and you can't find it. So now you have to go with something that's not as good. And you don't want to do that. You want all of your best content on your reel. So save as you go. Our system actually clears out every 2 weeks. There's another system you can use, but the video quality isn't as good. So I suggest you just save as you go. Keep saving your content. You don't want to wait until it's time to leave to try to get everything together. It's better to just update and take out a few clips here and there instead of starting from scratch.
Absolutely, because I wish that I had more diligently saved content from my first market. I didn't save anything. I was that person who didn't save anything. And then when it came time to make a reel, scrambling. Okay? Scrambling. Shook. Okay, so next up, we're going to be hearing from Amber Worthy. She is a reporter MMJ in Greenville, South Carolina at Fox Carolina.
Alrighty, so for journalists just coming into the business, I would remind them that they have help. There are people who paved the way, and we've made a lot of mistakes, so we want to help you not make the same mistakes we did, and reach out. Like, don't hesitate. I wish I would have known to call my mentor before any big decision, or even just getting input on a story that I felt like was a big career making story for me, how to make those things better. So reaching out for help. Also remembering it's a business that is sometimes based on looks, and that it's on you to take control of that, I guess, how people perceive you, and realizing that sometimes people aren't going to hire you solely based on how you look, and knowing not to take that personally, but finding that news director who isn't like that. Also knowing you're going to get a lot of no's, and it's all about that perfect yes and how to make where you are your best experience possible. You can turn a not so great experience into one that still is beneficial. Also knowing news stations close. News is rapidly changing, and I think a lot of us thought we were immune to layoffs, and that isn't the case. So just being ready for that, and knowing that our skill set can prepares us to be on our toes, but to do that for yourself so that you can not be caught off guard when those things happen. And lastly, don't be on top of your mental health proactively. I waited years before reaching out for help about all the bad that we consume on a daily. So just being proactive about taking care of yourself, eating well, sleeping well, turning off the news from time to time, and talking to a therapist, because we consume a lot of bad that we need an outlet for that, and define that outlet in your first year, and do not let up, because it's very beneficial.
Absolutely, because we internalize so much from this job. We internalize so much. I highly recommend that you, as she said, do the work, be proactive in doing that work. Alrighty, so now we're going to be hearing from Joyce Philippe. She is a former reporter at WLOX in Biloxi, Mississippi, turned graduate student at Columbia.
I have 3 things that I wish I knew when I first entered the news industry. The first thing is, if there's a topic that you love, go for it full throttle. I mean, it could be anything from as serious as crime investigations to covering education and race, or as obscure as vintage cars, outer space, ballpark food. There's so many random little things that we tend to push aside because we don't think of them as important, especially if they tend to be trivial, or even when you're a general assignment reporter, you don't always have the time to really delve into a niche. But I promise you that that little interest, that spark, that thing that you're passionate about and nobody else is, that will come in handy in the future. The second thing that I wish I knew when I first got into the business, and I'm honestly just learning right now, develop an ironclad health and wellness routine and stick to it. I'm serious. When they say, can you lift 25 pounds or more on that job application, they're not lying. When you are a reporter, especially a one-man band, you are running around chasing stories all day. You're over here writing on your desk, hunched over, your back is hurting, your wrists are hurting. There's such a physical toll that you don't necessarily realize when you're reporting until you get into the job. Make your you time non-negotiable, because if you want to go home, you want to sleep, I want to watch Disney Plus, eat food on the couch, That's fine. We need to rest too, but you need to make sure that you're investing time into your body. You will be better off. This last tip is really personal to me as I'm now in grad school for journalism after leaving a TV job. My last tip is that there's more than one way to do news. If you find that something is not working for you, before you jump out of the industry, step back and think to yourself, what brought me here? For most of us, the common denominator is a love of storytelling, telling the truth, connecting with people, holding truth to power, all of those things you hear journalists say all the time. Well, how can you do that? If you're doing TV, you find it's not working for you, try audio, try doing podcasts. If you're writing for digital, but you feel like you don't have enough words to say what you need to say, let's try some long form. Try writing for print, maybe pitch to a magazine. That's what I'm currently trying to figure out. How can I do what I love in a new and exciting way? I just love the fact that journalism is so dynamic. The only thing constant in this industry is change. It's only up from here.
Alrighty, so next we're going to be hearing from Travis Cummings. He is a fellow reporter at WRCB in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hey guys, I'm Travis Cummings. I'm a multimedia reporter in Tennessee right alongside Joy Dukes. A couple of different things I wish I would have known coming into this business. One, don't overthink market size, and a couple of reasons for that. My first job was in Rapid City, South Dakota in market 170. I learned how to do 3 different things in that market: report, produce, and anchor. It gave me room to grow. You want to find a place that's going to fit you in and give you that opportunity to enhance your craft. And then on the flip side of that, you don't want to underestimate yourself. If you think you have the talent going in, for sure apply to those markets, something that I didn't do. Apply to some bigger markets just to try your luck. 2, know your writing. Know the different writing styles out there in news broadcast writing. Obviously, some different programs work differently across the country. So depending on your school, you may not have learned what a VO, a voiceover is, or what a sound over tape, a SOT is. So definitely brush up on all of those things. What's a package? How long should a package be? Those are all questions that you could brush yourself up on before you actually get into the business to give you a head start. And third, y'all, finally, finances. Of course, a lot of people talk about this industry, the journalism industry, the media industry at large, and how pay is declining each and every day. And we've seen that, obviously, since the pandemic. Many have seen the loyalty when it comes to this industry. So it's best to just prepare your pockets. Many of us, our families can only do so much. So be sure to save. If you know you want to be in this business, save just so that you can have some funds for a rainy day, because trust me, there's going to be a lot of rainy days. So I hope that helps, and good luck to you if you are job searching. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Joy.
Whew, yes, spoken like a true reporter. Well, there you have it. You have heard from some of the industry's best and brightest. Hopefully this helps you. And if you like this video and want to see more, subscribe. So I think this does it for me. Until next time, I'm Joy Dukes, and this is Behind the Glam.